Hey everybody, this is Okie Twister 66. Today I am at Lake Hefner, Oklahoma City, Stars and Stripes Park. I wanted to just get out this morning because it's been so hot here in Oklahoma the last several weeks, and I haven't done much, if any, riding at all over the last couple of weeks. I'll do mid-90s. But man, you get over 100, man, I'm out. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys today about the seat that I've got. You know, one of the coolest things that this bike has is the seat. The anniversary edition Fatboy just has a really cool two-tone leather seat, and it's one of my favorite parts of the bike. So the downside is, after about an hour, my ass gets real sore. So stick around and we'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to do to rectify that. Hey, thanks for sticking around. So, like I said, one of the coolest things, at least to me, that I like about this Fatboy anniversary Fatboy is the two-tone leather color coordinated seat. It just looks really kick-ass, and I do want to make some modifications, to make this bike a little bit more my own. However, changing the seat on this one is a big deal, and I went back and forth on this decision. But my overall comfort has a lot to do with just my overall riding enjoyment and why I ride, to begin with. So I finally pulled the trigger and ordered a new seat. What I ordered was the Corbin traditional solo saddle with passenger pillion. So it's a big risk to me, at least. The reason I got the Corbin seat was pre-experience with my Scout. That bike had absolutely the worst seat that you could imagine. So I was really glad to get, an upgraded seat for that. It turned out being just really, it was some of the best money I spent on the bike was that seat. It took my ride times from 45 minutes to, hours, 3-4 hours with no issues. But anyway, the Fatboy seat, it's really not too bad for about a half hour, 45 minutes, but then it starts getting just very uncomfortable. And so I've got to, if I'm going to enjoy this to the fullest potential, then I need to upgrade the seat. So the Corbin seat, not only did it perform great for me on the Scout, but they also have some very cool customization things that you can do, and just have them custom make the seat for you. And they have a lot of different materials, leathers and so forth. But high quality seat. And what I chose was the Corbin solo saddle with passenger pillion. The materials I chose, there's basically 3 primary materials: a classic leather grain, a smoke bomber jacket, and also an oxblood. The oxblood complements the red in the bike, and the stock anniversary seat also has an oxblood in it as well. So let's head back to the garage and see if we can get this seat installed and see how it looks. Hey, thanks for sticking around. One of the most important things to me with my motorcycle is its comfort. And with as cool as this seat is, it's really not totally uncomfortable like my Scout was. But on long rides, it's going to be a problem. So I decided I was going to go ahead, bite the bullet. I really don't like the idea of changing the seat, especially on this anniversary Fatboy, but
my comfort has to take priority. So I elected to go with the Corbin seat. Now, the reason that I chose Corbin, I've got previous experience with Corbin on my Scout. It was a horrendous seat. So when I replaced it with the Corbin, night and day difference. So I loved it. So that's the primary reason, is my past experience. Now, being sensitive to the special nature of the anniversary edition and the color match seat that is already on it, that's another reason I chose Corbin, is because they have a customization program. You can choose from different materials and patterns and so forth. And so very highly customizable. And so they've actually got it on their website. So I'll put links to this down in the description. Now, the third reason that I went with Corbin is simply because it locks and is, at least secured to the bike. So if you're interested in a Corbin or something customizable, check out the Corbin website and do the little configurator tool that they've got on there. They've got a ton of different bikes that you can choose from, and you can go through all of the different combinations on the pieces of the seat, the types of seats and everything. So what I chose was the classic solo saddle and passenger pillion. After I did the configurator on the website, I wasn't sure of the materials. I wanted to make sure because it's a pretty sizable investment on this seat. So I called them up and had them send me some swatches. I was pretty sure about the main leather and the sides. I was going to use this smoke bomber jacket right there. But I was really curious about the different reds. So, man, within a few days, they sent me these swatches, which was perfect. The one that I ended up choosing, I don't know if the color really shows right here, but it's called Oxblood. So my seat is going to be basically a traditional leather, smoke bomber jacket, and this Oxblood. So here it is. It just arrived a couple days ago, and let me tell you, it was really well packaged, but there it is. When the seat arrived, of course, it had the really good instructions with it. Now, by the way, this seat, you can get a heater on it, but I elected not to do that. It also came with the hardware. Just a couple of quick brackets, a couple of screws, and of course, the keys. And if you're wondering where the key goes, just goes right there. Now, it looks like one solid piece, and this is how it's shipped, but actually, you can't separate these. It's got a bracket right there. So easily separate if you just wanted to run just with the seat and forego the passenger pillion for whatever reason, you can do that. The seat's also configured for the oval backrest that they offer. This basically just slides open. It's got a post that goes down, and you fasten it from the underside. But I had the oval backrest on my Scout. I used it for a little while and then just decided to take it off. So let's see if we can get this thing installed. So the first thing we've got to do is remove the seat. I'm a little concerned about the orientation of this, my cool little skeleton man giving you the bird. So first, that's where you start. Now keep in mind of your paint. Be very, very careful. Remove these. Set them aside. Put them in a Ziploc baggie or something, somewhere where you can keep them safe. Gently remove the seat. Now, of course, I'm going to be keeping the original seat. So I'm going to get it all packaged up, and I'll probably just put the seat and the pillion in the same box that Corbin shipped me the new seat in. Man, there's a lot of dirt in there. I think it's a good time to use some quick detailer. I'm gonna soak it down good. Got a fresh, very clean microfiber towel. I'm really glad this is just a one-time install, but this has to be mounted here. But as you can see, that's just a hole. So they did provide this. Hopefully it focuses on that. But this has to go up from the underside, and then this clips on it. So that way you have an anchor for this. So hopefully I can get my arm and my hand up in there without lifting the bike. So fingers crossed. Oh boy, my hand just barely fits. Enough for me to get a hold of it. Oh, there it is. It's got a little tab right here that keeps it from rotating left and right. Put the clip on. We're good. Now, how do I get my hand out? Oh boy, that's tight. But I got it. You may or may not have to lift your bike, but you're going to need some clearance if you have this hole that needs to be filled with that fitting. So fortunately, I'm really glad I didn't have to lift the bike on that. So the next thing is this just needs to mount in here. This is a pin and the seat is going to mount to the pin. This helps the locking mechanism work. Now, just a reminder, this is your seat. So don't forget your blue thread locker. So we'll get this started by hand. Got my blue thread locker on there. There we go. And this is a 7/16. Just going to snug that down. Now this bracket with the other pin, the front pin, is going to be mounted here. So we'll remove these, put this in, and use the supplied screws to mount this. Going to need a 3/8 to remove those. I'm going to put those aside along with these, those that I took off earlier. Okay, so I've replaced the 3/8 socket with this, what is it? 5/32 hex bit. Now I just need to use these, attach this. Don't forget your thread locker. It's your seat. We'll start with this one. I'll use this 5/32 just to get it started. I'm not going to tighten this all the way up. These need to be tightened to 8 foot-pounds per the instructions. Okay, and we'll torque these down to, once again, it's 8 foot-pounds. I thought about removing these 2 threaded studs that held on the old seat, but I elected to keep them. I found some nuts in my old nut and bolt bucket that fit perfectly, and I just used those to secure them so they didn't drop out. The reason I'm going to keep them there is to keep all the road grime and dirt and stuff from coming up from inside the fender. So I've checked everything for tight, and so now we're really ready just to put the seat on. Okay, here's a little warning. I'm going to give you a little tip that's not in the instructions, and I kind of found out the hard way, had to redo it. But this piece does need to go on a correct way. I didn't really pay that much attention. That's my bad. But if you'll notice, it is on a little bit of an angle. The way it's on now is correct. This pin is a little bit angled backwards, whereas when I had this flipped around, the pin was angled forwards. The seat would not fit. So I flipped that around, and so now the seat's ready to be put on the bike. From here, it's pretty simple. You basically line up the rear latch with the rear pin, line up the front pin, get a little press down, and the locking mechanism holds it in place. You can see the front's secure, the rear is secure. The only thing left is my little skeleton man bolt that goes into the fender from for the passenger pillion. I love this little guy. I did use an extra little washer. I checked fitting it. I cheated before I filmed. But I did get a washer. That way I can tighten it down good and still keep the alignment that I like. Perfect. I think the only thing left to do now is let's go for a test ride.
Well, let's see how it rides. My first impression is, wow, it's different. It seems a little taller, and it seems like I may be pushed slightly forward. That really doesn't bother me too much. I can't flat foot it quite as easily as the original seat. Now keep in mind I'm about 5'7" and I got kind of short legs, so now the seat feels really, really comfortable. It's more like I'm sitting down in a saddle rather than sitting on top of a seat, if that makes any sense. I think I said the same thing in my Scout video when I put the Corbin seat on that bike. I definitely think it's going to be more comfortable on longer rides, and I hope it will be the same for Mrs. T66. So we'll try that very soon, get her opinions on that. So it seems, like I said, it's a little taller. It feels a little wider, but I think it's just the support that's built in for the backside of your thighs. And that was kind of what was lacking with the other seat. So now, does it look as cool as the original? Well, I gotta say no. And I will be honest and say I was a little bit skeptical, but now that I've got everything together, I do like it. Like I said, I don't think it looks as cool as the original, but you know, comfort has to take priority. And I still have the original seat, of course, and I can put that on anytime I like. So initial impressions on the Corbin seat, I'll give it a thumbs up.
So there it is, custom leather seat and passenger pillion by Corbin, installed on my 2023 anniversary Fatboy. Let me know what you think, hit me up in the comments, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Okie Twister 66 signing off. Until next time, have fun, ride safe, 2 wheels down.